Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to this channel. For today's topic, we are going to discuss about COVID-19 pandemic on Indonesian tourism. So, what comes to your mind when you heard the words COVID-19 pandemic? In your opinion, does the tourism sector greatly affect the country's economy? Provide one benefit of the tourism sector for the country's economy. The COVID-19 pandemic has taken a significant toll on communities across the world and has had a devastating effect on travel and tourism. For 30 years, the World Travel and Tourism Council, or WTTC, has been quantifying the economic impact of travel and tourism, highlighting the importance of the sector to the global economy. The effect of COVID 19 has emphasized the tremendous importance and positive contribution of travel and tourism. It enables socio-economic development, job creation, poverty reduction, driving prosperity, and significant positive social impact, including providing unique opportunities to women, minorities, and youth. The benefits of travel and tourism spread far beyond its direct impacts in terms of GDP and employment, with indirect gains spreading through the entire ecosystem and the supply chain linkages to other sectors. In 2019, travel and tourism was one of the world's largest sectors, accounting for 10.4% of global GDP or around 9.2 trillion US dollars, 10.6% of all jobs, around 334 millions of people, and was responsible for creating 1 in 4 of all new jobs across the world. As a result of COVID-19 on the ongoing restrictions to international mobility, the travel and tourism sector suffered losses of almost 4.5 trillion United States dollars, with its global contribution to GDP declining by 49.1% compared to 2019 to reach only 4.7 trillion US dollar in 2020, relative to a 3.7 GDP percent decline of the global economy. In 2020, 62 million jobs were lost, leaving just 272 million employed across the sector globally. This 80% decrease was felt across the entire travel and tourism ecosystem, with small and medium-sized enterprises, which make up 80% all global businesses in the sector being particularly affected. So, talking about travel and tourism industry on global economy. How big do you think the contribution of Indonesia tourism sector to the Indonesian economy? Talking about the tourism contribution on the economy brought us to our problem here. The COVID-19 pandemic impact on Indonesian economy from the tourism sector, creating the decrease of earnings from the foreign exchange tourism sector and also less job opportunities. This topic is important for our Indonesian economy recovery because the tourism sector has an important role as a source of foreign exchange earnings and can encourage national economic growth, especially in reducing the number of unemployed and increasing the productivity of a country. Indonesia is the largest archipelagic country in the world. Indonesia has more than 17,000 islands, of which only about 7,000 are inhabited. Kalimantan, Java, Sulawesi, Sumatra, and Papua are the main islands in Indonesia. In addition, Indonesia also has small islands such as Bali, Karimun Jawa, Gili, and Lombok, which are local and international tourist destinations. In addition to beautiful islands, Indonesia's tropical climate also makes Indonesia a major tourist destination. What do you know about foreign exchange in Indonesia? And in your opinion, how to increase the foreign exchange in Indonesia? According to Law Number 24 of 1999 concerning foreign exchange traffic and the exchange rate system, it is stated that foreign exchange is one of the tools and sources of financing for the nation and state. Meanwhile, according to the Big Indonesian Dictionary or Kamus Besar Bahasa Indonesia, KBBI, foreign exchange is a foreign payment instrument that can be exchanged for foreign money. Foreign exchange rate or forex rates are an important aspect of the world economy and equally holds its importance in the travel and tourism sector. The value of every currency is different, and this is determined by the economic status of the country. When trade happens across countries, it improves prospects and adds considerably to global economic growth. This is exactly why exchange rates play an important role in the economy. When traveling to a foreign land, it is extremely important that you use the local currency for all transactions. When you are traveling abroad, you buy forex, which is mainly the local currency at an exchange rate. The foreign exchange rate holds an important position in the tourism sector. You can use a forex card and cash for transactions while you travel. In case you run out of cash, you can always reload your forex card from anywhere. However, post your trip there are chances that you may still have a foreign currency that you wouldn't really be required anymore. In a scenario like this, you can sell it. The buy and sell rates vary. The exchange rates keep fluctuating, so you might want to wait and check on days when you think you are getting a good value for the forex. Foreign currency is important, especially when we travel, simply because that's the only way to transact in a foreign land, be it paying for a cab fare or just buying a meal. Now let's take a look on Indonesian economy before COVID-19 pandemic on tourism sector. This graph shows data on foreign exchange earnings from the main sectors in the Indonesian economy. We can see that in 2019, which was before the time of the pandemic, the tourism sector was the sector that contributed the largest foreign exchange earnings in Indonesia. The tourism sector has a strategic role that can encourage an increase in foreign exchange earnings so that in turn, it can improve the account balance. Based on the data taken from katadata.co.id, we can see how significant the impact of COVID-19 on the tourism sector. The number of foreign tourist arrivals, which initially reached 16 million in 2019, fell and decreased by 74.8% in 2020, which was 4 million people. On this slide, we can see data from reliable sources that show a very large decline in foreign exchange in the tourism sector due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The achievement of Indonesia's tourism foreign exchange value, which originally amounted to 16.9 billion in 2019, fell drastically to 3.2 billion in 2020. Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy of Indonesia, Sandiaga Uno, revealed that the tourism sector plays a major role in creating job opportunities through SMEs in Indonesia. On an interview, the minister said that this tourism sector is a sector that creates the most jobs. For every dollar you invest in tourism and creative economy, you'll have 6 times more jobs created. The minister expression brought us to our second problem, namely job opportunities. In your opinion, which province or city in Indonesia makes tourism a source of livelihood for the community? The tourism sector now cannot be underestimated. In terms of income, it has been able to become the backbone of the regional economy, especially in 10 regencies or cities where the realizations of regional original income or PAD is supported by more than 40%. Here we can take a look at this slide, the data that 10 regions that depend on tourism. Surprisingly, the region whose PAD depends on the tourism sector and is in the top 10 is actually an area that is rarely heard of, although there are still areas that are genetically synonymous with tourism. The 10 regencies or cities are here: Badung, Bali with 71.36%, Sumba Barat in NTT 69.90%, Supiori in Papua around 66.73%, Kepulauan Anambas in Kepulauan Riau around 62.66%, Bintan, Kepulauan Riau 60.80%, Lombok Utara in NTB 57.69%, Gianyar Bali with 54.29%, Murung Raya in Kalimantan Tengah around 53.35%, Dogiai in Papua around 53.16%, and Mimika in Papua with 49 and 75%. Based on this slide, we can see that around 1 million tourism workers are unemployed because of the pandemic. The Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy noted that the number of workers in the tourism sector fell from 14.69 million to 13.69 million in 2020. In your opinion, what do you think in next year about the number of workers in Indonesia? Increase or decrease? Give your reasons. From what we have discussed earlier, we have known that the tourism sector plays a major role in creating job opportunities through small medium enterprises in Indonesia. So, what is the relation between the two? SMEs and tourism have a close relationship. It can be said that SMEs actors will grow rapidly with progress in the tourism sector. SMEs actors can supply needs related to tourism, such as tourism services, culinary, homestays, to souvenirs. SMEs will be greatly helped by the movement of the tourism sector. The existence of tourist areas will nourish and grow SMEs. On the other hand, tourism needs the support of SMEs. This relationship shows that tourism development must be one package with SMEs empowerment. So, can you give one example of SMEs that support tourism sector in Indonesia? Because we have talked about the availability of jobs and businesses in the tourism sector, now we will discuss about unemployment caused by the pandemic. On this slide chart, we can see unemployment data before the pandemic. In 5 years of Joko Widodo leadership, both the number and the percentage of unemployed have shown a decline. The increase in the number of the workforce, coupled with an increase in the number of working people, was able to reduce the unemployment rate to near the 5% level as shown in the graph. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused unemployment to soar. Data from the Central Statistics Agency or Badan Pusat Statistik Indonesia recorded that total unemployment increased by 2.67 million to 9.77 million people as of August 2020. During the pandemic, 29.12 million people of working age were affected. Among them, 2.56 million people are unemployed. 760,000 people are not in the labor force. Then 1.77 million people are temporarily out of work. Meanwhile, the majority or as many as 24.3 million workers experience a reduction in working hours. So, with so many problems that have arisen in the tourism sector due to the COVID-19 pandemic, what are the efforts of the Indonesian government? Here are the government efforts in economic recovery in the tourism sector. The first one is Tourism Grant Program. In 2020, the government has issued a tourism grant program for economic recovery in the tourism sector of 3.3 trillion rupiahs. The grant was given to 101 regions that have tourism businesses with several criteria. The criteria according to IRENA 2020 are as follows: 10 priority tourism destinations and 5 super priority destinations, provincial capitals, branding destinations, areas with a minimum hotel and restaurant tax realizations of 50%, as well as areas that include 100 calendar of events. While the criteria for hotel and restaurants businesses include being registered in the regional tax database, still operating today, having a business license or tourism business registration certificate, having a business registration number, and having the business on the field standard classification list. Usaha Indonesia Hotels and Restaurants. Meanwhile, according to the Ministry of Finance in 2020, the terms of the funds provided are based on the amount of hotel tax and restaurant tax, deposits in regional treasury, originating from hotel and restaurant businesses throughout 2019. According to Octari 2020, said that the grant funds given the local governments were distributed to actors in the hotel and restaurant business. Meanwhile, for the handling of the economic and social impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic on the tourism and creative economy sectors, assistance of 30% is provided. The second one, the ministers of tourism and creative economy said that the economic recovery in the tourism sector due to the COVID-19 pandemic in general is a major government program in 2021 by also paying attention to the development of 3A aspects: attractions, accessibility, and amenities in destinations, especially in 5 super priority destinations. Tourism recovery mainly developed 5 priority destinations, namely Danau Toba or Lake Toba, Borobudur, Mandalika, Labuan Bajo, and Likupang. And also the third one is cleanliness, healthy, safety, and environmental sustainability or CHSE program, which is part of the Indonesia Care I Do Care program. This program was released to prepare the ability of the tourism sector and the creative economy to apply the principles of cleanliness, healthy, safety, and environmental sustainability in every aspect of their activities. The Indonesia Care Care program is run in tandem with other programs, which of course are expected to be followed up with collaboration between ministries. For example, with the Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Fisheries, the Ministry of Environment and Forestry to implement health protocols in tourist destinations with national park status until the reopening of services. International flights with discussions with the Ministry of Transportation, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Law and Human Rights, and other related parties. What do you think about those government efforts? The tourism sector is currently growing along with the increasing human need for travel. Tourism is closely related to the lifestyle of a modern society. Technology can influence and shape the way a person conducts tourism activities, from planning a trip while on a trip to when they return from their trip. Technology is one of the variables for strengthening tourism strategic management as stated in the PASL analysis, which are politic, economy, social, technology, environment, and legal. The development of information and communication technology has greatly revolutionized the development of the tourism industry. With ICT, information and communication can be done very quickly, precisely, and accurately, able to reduce human errors. For example, the emergence of internet based travel applications, tourism information that joins e-commerce such as Traveloka, Alibaba, and others, as a transport accommodation information system software program. By using this software, information about ticket prices, hotel room lodging prices, accommodation availability, booking certainty, information on upcoming tourists, ease of booking hotels, and transportation tickets in situations anytime and anywhere can be fulfilled. What do you think will happen if our country does not make technology as a focus for rebuilding the economy in the Indonesian tourism sector? So, talking about the government efforts and others that we have discussed, what solutions that you can give to increase the tourism activity in Indonesia? After we discussed together the various problems that have arisen due to the COVID-19 pandemic on the Indonesian economy, especially the tourism sector, so what solutions can we provide? What we can give to overcome the two main problems? Here are some of solutions that we can give to the government of Indonesia. The first one is increasing digital-based tourism advertising. Utilizations of information technology in the development of the tourism sector in the form of e-tourism will have a very large impact on the development of the tourist sector and lead to an increase in income in the tourism sector. The use of this information technology must be synergized with government policies in the tourism sector as contained in the Regional Tourism Development Master Plan and integrated with other tourism support systems. The second one is training and business capital for tourism area communities. The government can carry out debriefing and training programs to build a business for the community and also provide capital in the form of money or buildings as an effort to build the economy of the tourism area. With the many local businesses available, that can also attract the attention of tourists. The third one is develop harmonized and effective safe travels protocols. Considering the COVID 19 pandemic that happens nowadays, the governments, health experts, and other industry associations need to work together to achieve effective recovery protocols by developing meaningful action plans that optimize sector wide recovery efforts. The fourth one is cheap tour packages for foreign tourists. Tour package programs can be provided by the government in collaboration with travel companies. This program can be promoted to tourists via social media platforms. Of course, with this program, hopefully it can attract the attention of potential tourists, especially the foreign tourists. Last but not least is involve local community participation. To contribute in tourism development program, the community should be accorded from decision making, planning, implementation, monitoring to evaluation and even problem solving with full awareness that the program of tourism activities that are beneficial to those involved. So, with all of the topics that we have discussed today, what do you learn today? So, with all of the informations, problems that we have discussed, and with our main goal, the economy recovery of Indonesia, we have to aware and we have to know that the crisis is an opportunity to rethink how tourism interacts with our societies, other economic sectors, and our natural resources and ecosystems. So that is all for our topic for today, and see you on our next interesting topic.